Welcome back to another round at Sweet Shots. Lucas Johnson alongside Nick Johnson, Mark Johnson, Chuck Johnson might come a little later. He's our surprise guest. Maybe a surprise guest if he comes in. But the three of us were sitting here talking. It seems like we're just on a major schedule. We're like Tiger Woods. We're just going major to major.
That's kind of what we're on right now.
Because all of a sudden it's already U.S. Open week. It seems like just yesterday we were talking PGA Championship. And that was crazy. And then Nick and I, we talked about Scotty Scheffler's arrest. We didn't even talk about that with you, Mark. You were MIA for that one, traveling.
Yeah, you and Chuck were in Vegas.
We were at a conference. That's right. Yeah, what a weird deal that was. Where do you end up on that? Is it in the courts?
They dropped it. Yeah, they dropped it. A ton of stuff got released where, like the officer didn't have his body cam on. But they have like surrounding body cam footage. They had the security camera footage, and it just looked like Scotty was like, there's no way his foot was even on the gas pedal. No. I don't even understand. Like,
I think once all the video came out, it was so clear.
You just had no choice. And like Scotty he just got out of the car. He's like, I don't know what's going on. He was just, and then I saw the video of he was sitting in jail, and one of the officers was like, no way, you're number one in the world. He was like, best golfer in the world. He's like, you're way too calm to be the best player in the world right now. He's like, yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm a law enforcement guy. I respect law enforcement. That guy was clearly having a bad day.
That was a bad day for him. Yeah.
They're human too, just like everyone. I didn't get into it too much because it just seems so outrageous.
It was going to get dropped.
It was a miscommunication. It's something great. I just wasn't going to, call anyone out. But I thought I read the report, like he hurt his hand, like he had to get medical attention. In the video I saw, he was pounding on the window of the car.
Yeah, he assume that's how he hurt the front of the car. Yeah.
Hurt his hand or wrist.
And then he said they ruined his $80 pair of pants beyond repair.
Yeah, and the pictures came out, and it's like a rip,
like his
that big.
Back pocket, and it's like it looks like he got like his wallet got dragged or something to rip a hole in his back pocket.
Yeah.
So
like it was maybe 5 miles per hour. Like
it was not very. I don't know how. Even I couldn't tell from the video, like where, because he didn't even get knocked over. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand, because in the video, he like jumps on the car. It doesn't even look like he gets drugged at all.
So I don't know where he would have ruined his pants in that instance. But, so yeah, those got dropped. Scotty's a free man, and with his freedom, he just goes and tears up another golf tournament and wins the Memorial last week.
Yeah. I wonder if it affected him, though, at the P. And I haven't read much about it.
Obviously, he only takes 8th place.
Right. He played good, though, the day he got out of jail.
Yeah, 5 under. And then actually when Ted Scott left, because he let Ted Scott go back to Ted Scott's son's graduation. Mm-hmm. So he had a new caddy on the bag, and he shoots 5 over. It was his first over par round in like all year.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He didn't have his caddy.
Yeah.
It's the one day I have bet on.
That's right. Yeah.
I literally have never bet on Scotty Scheffler except for that day.
You didn't know he wasn't going to have his own caddy?
No.
Oh,
and he shoots 5 because it was like just to shoot under 70 or something, wasn't it?
I think it was 69 or something, and it was a 4-leg parlay. I hit the other 3 with ease, and I'm like, I got the best golfer in the world. And I look, and I'm like, it's 4 over through 17.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was the PGA.
Yep. And then he had the Charles Schwab. After that, it was an elevated event, and he takes 2nd place in that one. Mm-hmm. And just vintage Scotty again. And then he comes back in the Memorial, Jack's place, and didn't run away with it. It was entertaining to the end. And Colin Morikawa, we were talking about how his chip didn't go in earlier. And Scotty comes away with the win, but he was up at the top of the leaderboard from like day one. So
I don't think he left.
It's so. I told Nick before we started, it was like I didn't watch a whole lot of golf because I was playing golf. I was in a tournament myself, but when I turned on the TV to watch, I was not surprised at all.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, okay, it's another week. Another Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, you'd be surprised if he's not.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. If you don't see his name in the top
reminds me when Tiger was in his prime.
Yeah. I was just talking about that with my friends yesterday. We've never seen anything like this since Tiger. I mean,
no, we are watching some of the greatest. Yeah.
Just solid.
And I know Data Golf has like the greatest runs of all time, like the greatest players of all time, and they're by strokes gained data. And with every win that Scotty racks up, he gets closer and closer to Tiger Woods. I think Tiger in his best season, he gained 3.81 strokes a tournament. And Scotty's at like 3.5 now.
Crazy.
And it's like, yeah, you really, I mean, you think about it, we haven't seen anything.
Not even close to this dominant. And it's like, how, at this point, it's how long can you keep this up for?
That's what I'm wondering, but at the same
how it
time,
hasn't already gotten to his head.
Exactly. He keeps showing up every week. To your point, like, how long can you keep that up? And it's like, okay, this week he's not gonna, and then he goes out and shoots a first round 68 and he's like, just hanging around there. And then he does it again and again and again. And he's right up at the top of the leaderboard.
It's insane.
How do you do it? How do you do it?
So I wonder if, and I would, he would still be playing the same level of golf he's playing if, let's just live in pretend land, if LIV hadn't been created and you throw another 8 guys that are elite
John
players,
Rahm, Cam Smith.
yeah, would they have maybe snuck a couple of these away from him, like half of them?
Well, you could argue. I would argue this last tournament with how close it was. A couple of the tournaments that Scotty won, he won by 5, 6.
Yeah.
But like the Memorial, he won by 1 and didn't necessarily have his best stuff. Colin was right there, but the scores were, what do you win? 8 under, 7 under,
8
under.
Yeah, and the Morikawa was 7.
You could, to your point, Mark, you could assume that one of those guys might catch fire, like a John Rahm might catch fire around Memorial.
Odds are, I mean, if there were 8 of the other best top.
Not to take anything away from what Scotty's doing.
No.
Right.
Because like you said, he would play at the same level he's currently playing, but
yeah, as soon as you strengthen the field with half the top best golfers in the world that aren't playing in it,
that was kind of like
the perspective of
the argument, I think, when Byron Nelson won so many in a row. I don't know how many, it was an outrageous amount, but it was like during the war, during World War II, where it's like some of the guys were doing other things.
Got drafted,
Yeah, and he wasn't, so I just wonder. Scotty's unbelievable,
but even like, I don't know, and maybe it's just because they're not playing a lot of golf, but like, would Dustin Johnson challenge him? Probably not. Would he have challenged him back in, a couple years ago? Maybe.
Yeah.
I could see like Bryson right now being, as weird as that sounds, being like the guy that would challenge him just because at every major he hangs around.
He's on top of his game right now.
Yeah. And so like I could see Bryson being that guy, being kind of like the spoiler guy that would jump in. But that's an interesting thought. Like what would that look like with everybody together?
Yeah.
But still, at the same time, you see that during the Masters, like during the majors, and he wins the Masters and is 8th place at Valhalla while being charged with felonies.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not that big of an argument, but
yeah.
But going into this week,
know.
I mean, it's tough to ignore him. Like we were just talking about beforehand. Spoiler for DraftKings: he's $13,000 to put him on your team, but at the same time, you can't leave him off. I mean, he's by far I think the Vegas odds have him at plus 320.
Yeah, plus 320.
And Xander's the next one at plus 1,100.
Like, it's not close.
Like the best odds in, what'd you say, 15 years?
In the last 15 years is the best odds to win a major. I think Tiger was like plus 3.
I think he was 300. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 300. Because we talked about it at the Masters, because he was like plus 400 at the Masters.
Which is just insane.
And I think his advantage at Pinehurst is greater than a normal course because he hits it higher than everybody else.
He hits it high, and he's a good ball striker because you got to hold those greens, right?
Yep. They're like upside down bowls.
Turtle shells.
So you got to hit it high. I think Van played in the amateur there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the reason why Van played well there.
Yep, he hits it high. Yeah,
hits it high, and then you can. I was watching a deal where you can. A lot of times, putting is preferred off the green versus chipping.
Yeah,
I watched the green. Johnson Wagner. Is that what you watched?
Yeah, I think I did.
You know Johnson Wagner.
No,
he used to be. He played right. He had a card for a while.
Professionally. Yeah,
he
was a good player.
And he's just like a content king. Like anytime there's a discrepancy or a rules deal or someone hits an amazing shot, Johnson Wagner goes out there and tries to do it himself.
Same thing.
And recently, I love watching him with a wedge in his hands because I think it was Valhalla. He had the yips with the wedge, and they still made him hit the shot. And he like chili dipped one and shanked one. And he's like, "Yep, that's it." Like he still had this fire of just like, I can't believe I just did that on live TV. It was hilarious. And then he was out there, the video that we were watching, he was out there trying to hit these shots around the greens.
Yeah.
And he started with a
Wedge.
a 60-degree sand
Yep.
wedge, and he chunked it. And he's like, well, that's why I don't use a wedge. And then he grabbed an 8-iron and he bump and runned it, and it ran over the green. And then he grabbed his putter and he hit his putter, and it was
Good. Yeah, it was
a
fine.
good
Yeah.
putt. So that's kind of the defense of Pinehurst is their greens. And then it also looks like they're natural areas. They don't have any bunkers, but they call them waste areas. And they're all like overgrown.
Yeah.
Like you'll lose a ball in there. It's nasty stuff. So if you're
Because-
not hitting fairways and you're not hitting greens,
He was 1907 designed Donald Ross, if I'm not mistaken. And then Corin Crenshaw redid it, but they left the greens pretty much intact. And it's, the players were kind of already
yeah, well,
making excuses,
Wyndham Clark said it was already borderline. The greens are borderline.
like too fast, too hard.
Yep,
It's like,
you can't hold a green.
if
You can't
you-
do any of this.
you got to have a different attitude when you show up.
Yeah.
It's
You
a
cannot
U.S.
let
Open.
it
Go
Yeah.
and complaining already. Like, yeah.
It's the beauty of the U.S. Open is just straight carnage.
Right. You should know what you're getting
The
yourself
winning
into.
score should be like 5 under.
No, they try and make it even.
Even par? Is that right?
USGA's philosophy
Oh, really?
is the winner, even par.
For the U.S. Open in general?
Yeah.
And any golf course?
No, U.S. Open. At any golf course
Yeah.
that they hosted
Yes.
at, even par is
That's,
their
yeah.
is how they set it up.
Insane.
Yeah, that is.
Your best players in the world, are just going to make a mess of it. It doesn't make for great TV viewing for your passive golf audience that likes to
Yeah, they
see
like to see
birdies and
birdies.
the roars
Yeah.
and this is just it's a slugfest. It's just surviving.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good way to put
Making-
it. It's just
yeah.
surviving.
Just try to make the least amount of mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see. I think the green designs, if they firm it up enough, like what they do around. Like I saw Colin Morikawa was hitting like a 3-wood from off. He was like putting a 3-wood from off the green.
Yeah. Tom Dolby's got that shot, little hybrid.
Yep.
Just a little bump and run hybrid.
Bump and run. I think Johnson Wagner said he doesn't like doing that. It comes off a little
hot, yeah.
a little fast. But
I think this it's going to favor some Euros. I think great short game folks. Outside of high ball hitters, it's going to be guys that are really good, creative
Crafty
around the
around there.
greens.
Yep.
Shane Lowry make the U.S. Open?
Ooh, I
he
didn't
should have.
see him in the field, but he should have.
He should have.
I feel like he did.
That would be my sneaky pick.
Yeah.
He's been playing all right. That's my I like that. But
One of the greatest tournaments ever was the U.S. Open that Payne Stewart won here.
what year was that?
I think it was
90
2001.
Was it 2001?
And I'm sure you can go back. You can probably YouTube it. The putts he made that final day to win the Open, unbelievable.
That's his iconic fist pump, right?
Yeah.
Like the one leg.
Yeah, they've got a statue of
lunging.
him there.
Yeah.
It was like you got to be kidding me. He made another putt. It was unbelievable. It was really cool. And he beat Phil Mickelson.
Oh yeah, they were playing in the same group.
And I think Phil had not had a major yet. And it was like Phil came that close again.
That leads- I mean-
all. Yeah, that's all Phil needs for his career Grand Slam. Is the U.S. Open.
Oh, that would think
So
of
he-
that.
Yeah, so if you go back, he would have had it by now. Assuming his career stays on the same path.
Stays the same.
Yeah, if you have a couple minutes, YouTube
Yeah.
Payne Stewart and just watch the putts
He's
he
fun to
put
watch.
in.
He had the knickers. He had the hat on there. He was a character.
He was.
good.
Yep.
Yeah. With all that, I saw this U.S. Open's the 1,000th championship that the USGA has put on. Do you know that? 1,000.
National championship.
Yep, national champion. So U.S. Opens, Mid-Ams, U.S. Amateurs,
Right.
U.S. Women's Open, all that. It's the 1,000th one. This U.S. Open. All 50 states have hosted a USGA championship, including Alaska and Hawaii.
Really?
I think last year was the first, when they completed that, or 2022. I think the U.S. Senior Women's Open was in Alaska. I did some research, but just a fun little fact: North Dakota has had one USGA championship. This is the Junior Am at Fargo Country Club.
For 1995. Johnson Wagner played in that event.
Speaking of, he's everywhere.
And I think he shot 96 his first round.
Oof. How different was Fargo Country Club in
95.
Way more trees.
more trees?
Yeah, way
Oh,
more
yeah,
trees
I
along
guess
the
on
river.
10, 17.
18 was just a shoot. You're literally hitting out of a tree shoot. Yeah.
Couldn't see the river.
No.
Different bunkering. On
10 and 17 were one green together.
Oh, yeah.
With trees protecting. Yeah, it was just way more trees. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, how about this for before we get into maybe some picks and stuff? But there's some reports coming out of the U.S. Open that the grandstands are dangerous. So if you're going to the U.S. Open, keep an eye on this. They're dangerous. Reports are coming out that the construction company that put them all up, they cut costs and they started using short screws, and chairs are falling out underneath all the guests that are sitting down.
So they sit down and your chair collapses?
Your chair just falls apart.
Fall out from underneath.
there's a whole thread of people that have just responded, and they're like, yeah, I was sitting on like hole 2. They closed down hole 2 grandstands because like 5 chairs fell out from underneath these people.
Well, they better get some long screws and fix them.
Sitting over a putt on hole 2. And what the heck?
You go to an event, there's certain things you shouldn't worry about.
Yeah.
One of them is
Sitting.
Your
fall out of
chair
your
falling
chair.
out from underneath you. It's like last guy standing in hole 2 grandstand. Just everyone, you fall.
Yeah, I
you're
might
out.
just stand. I
Yeah.
don't need to sit. That's fine.
Well, over in Italy for the Ryder Cup, it was after the tournament, but the main grandstand burned down,
I saw that.
burned to
Yeah.
the ground. I mean,
like by
Like
accident. Or-
not even.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I think it was
It
an
wasn't
accident.
like the U.S. rioting after our loss.
No, I don't
Ooh,
think anybody
yeah.
lit it on fire. No, it was
That was like a week after, wasn't it? Like
maybe not a
even?
week, but that was dangerous.
That was a big cloud of smoke. What's up with that? Yeah, you gotta cut costs, shorter screws. Yeah.
Shorter screws.
That's funny. You just think of a guy that's like just grinding, leans on the end of his seat and
Over the putt.
falls.
Well, you know, it was somebody making a decision too. Is like, okay, we could probably save a few $100 here.
Yeah.
Let's go short screws.
Short screws, just get them done. 1, 2 people fall. That's fine.
That's crazy.
They're saying they're like not screwed in all the way, and yeah,
well, yeah.
that's tough.
They'll definitely have to fix that before.
Yeah, you would think, right? You would think.
Okay.
How about any picks for this week? Like anybody jump out? Maybe not a non-Scotty Scheffler pick.
Shane Lowry is playing, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that one.
Yeah, I mean, I like the guys that are short game gurus. I mean, I have Spieth on a team just because that guy can get up and down from anywhere.
How entertaining is he going to be this week?
He's going to be pretty entertaining.
I need a microphone in
I know.
his face the entire
usually do.
round. That's
Him
true.
and his
They
caddy
usually
have
do.
him like
Then I got Cam Smith too because that guy.
Yeah,
can
I saw
shit
him
up and down.
on Golf Channel this morning. He was talking about it, talking about his wedges. Cam Smith, not a Bryson though, huh?
No, I don't. I don't have him on the team. I don't know that he's creative enough around the greens.
I just don't think I'm not that I'm anti Bryson, but I just don't think this golf course suits his game. He even said as much, but like he can't overpower it. You go into the waste areas, he can't overpower a waste area. And then he was saying if he lays back, he still's got 200 yards left in. Yeah, he's hitting an 8-iron, but still 200 yards out to a domed green. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
How much is it just like
So I have a
pure
what
carnage?
if. To put it in perspective, how tough this is going to play, these green complexes, from 100 yards, if we played every hole from 100 yards, okay, so you got to hit a little wedge in there.
Mhm.
So it's not just putting from the fringe, but 100 yards. I predict of the 3 of us, 2 of us are not breaking 100.
I don't think I would.
100
100 yards.
from 100 yards.
Sunday pins? Or all 4 days?
Tough. Yep, the
Sunday pins.
Sunday pins. I don't know if I could break 100 with a wedge in my hand.
I might go putter from 100 yards.
Oh, I hadn't
Yeah,
thought of
actually.
that.
That's not a bad idea.
You just run it up there.
And everything plays as the normal par for that hole. Like par
Well, let's
5, 100 yards out.
let's say it's just bogey golf. Let's say you got to shoot 90
from 100 yards.
from 100 yards. Could you play bogey? No, I don't think
No.
you could. It's so difficult. And you and I just walking in there, we're not tournament tough. You know, you hit good shots, but everything falls off, and now you're busy.
I can't
It is
hold it.
aggravating.
Yeah.
We're going to hit it too low.
Yeah.
He he might be able. He'd get it around. You'd be fine from
fine.
100 yards.
I still think, I would have to change my game though, just because I like the low bump and
the
run, and that's
skipper.
or like the low skipper that bounces a couple times and stops, and you can't play that around there. So you have to do it, and that's where
With no knowledge.
honestly- yeah,
I'm saying if we went in there with
Just
no
blind.
knowledge, like nobody's coaching us up on, okay, it's a right pin, you have to hit it over here. If we just went in there,
then no way. There's no way. No, if I had a caddy that goes, okay, this is a right pin, you want to play it up left, and that's going to be your straight putt, yeah. But if I'm just going, okay, it's a right pin, I'll hit it at the center. Like, there's no way, because it's going to run off, and I'll have 95 feet to putt, and it's going to be over this ridge. And
if there wasn't so much history here, they would call this Mickey Mouse. I mean, it'd just be like, it'd be like, where are we going? Fuddruckers? I mean, this is a joke.
yeah, it's
But-
clown car golf. Yeah, no, I mean,
But it's
like
1907 and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. So,
I heard a Donald Ross story where he was adamantly against gambling on the golf course. Have you heard this story?
oh, no, did not know that.
So he did not like gambling. He just wanted to play for playing sake, and he was playing. The course had just opened up, and he got paired with a guy, and the guy asked him, "Hey, let's play for some money." No, let's just play for playing the game's sake. Let's do this. And the guy was like, "No, we should play for some money. That's how I focus." All right. So Donald Ross goes on and he kicks his butt. I forget how much he wins by, and the guy's like, "Geez, you really played well. Like, wow, how'd you do that?" He goes, "Well, that's why you don't play against the guy who built it." Or he says, "I built the golf course," and walked off. And that's why you don't bet on golf. Is what he said. You never know who you're playing against. You never know what their story is. So the guy is like, "Nope, we're playing for money." And Donald Ross took all his money and walked off. I built the golf course
Because he knew the breaks.
because he knew everything. And that's where, like, my point to yours is like, no, you can't. Bogey golf even would be a stretch, because if you don't know what those greens are doing to Sunday pins, there's just no way.
I think we could call back to our Masters conversation. I could start on the green, and I don't know if I'd break 100. Just
How many
putting.
times would you putt it off the green?
That's what I mean. I don't need a wedge from 100 yards. I don't know if I could do it just putting from the farthest point.
From the farthest point away.
With all those
putting on
domes,
those?
would be up and then back down at my feet, or then the next one's way over and down.
Well, even if you just get on the wrong side of you might not even make it halfway before it rolls off the green.
That's what I mean.
Halfway on the green.
I'd be 4, 5 putting.
Have you guys played on the top tracer bays outside? Have you played Pinehurst?
No.
I think I have.
I don't think we played together, but
I've done it.
so the cool thing is, like, we created events this week for US Open because we have it on our outdoor bays. And so we've got an 18-hole challenge that you got to play from the US Open tees. That's a cool deal. But we also have 2 of the closest to the pins going on right now. There's a 100-yard one, which is pretty fun. And then the second one's our expert challenge, our hard challenge. It's from 198 yards. I forget what hole it is at Pinehurst. I want to say like number 7. And that hole is so impossible.
It's impossible.
It is so hard.
When they came and trained us in on that, they just added that hole.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And the gal, she was logged in under her name, and I hit the shot.
Yeah.
And I hit like I hit a hybrid.
Yeah.
And I hit it in there like 7 feet. And
What?
yes, and her name was in the
Yeah.
top 3
For like,
closest
For
to
the
us for a
global?
long time.
Oh, man.
We're a global and I hit the shot. I totally got lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Well, and that's like I tried it again this morning, and like it's a 7-iron for me usually at that distance, but I was trying to carry it like 185, just a stock 7, try and get it up in the air. 200 yards is generally 6-iron. I couldn't keep a 7-iron on the green.
can't keep it on.
I hit a solid shot, it
try
would
it.
roll off, and actually my best shot, I just tried to swing hard at an 8-iron to get it up in the air, and I still couldn't get it any closer than like 12 feet.
I think the shot I hit it into the bank just over the bunker, and it took it off.
Yep.
It took enough
Just
off, and it
kill it.
stayed on the green.
And that's just like it lands, and that's what these guys are going to get all week.
Yeah.
Is you just
like
land it
lucky-
on top,
that
and
lucky
it
pop.
there's no way it's going to stop.
Yeah, that's fun to watch. Memorial, those guys they couldn't get a ball to stop on the green there either.
Oh, what was it like?
It was
16.
Yeah, wasn't it rated one of the hardest tournament this year?
Second,
Oh,
I
they're
thought
second
behind the Masters.
behind
Yeah,
the Masters, yeah.
It's okay
Which
to
is
see these guys
crazy.
struggle a
No.
little bit.
Well, and it's rated second hardest, and they're still
7
7
under.
under. So we
for the
could
win.
see people
Yeah.
go maybe
Yeah,
a
but
little.
Tom was like 10 over,
Yeah,
and he made the cut.
Yeah.
he went
Well, that's what I was going to ask. What do you think?
7 over one day.
What do we think the cut line will be? That was my question.
Great
Prediction.
question, Nick.
If
That
they're
is a good question.
supposed to sit around even, so
The winner.
right, so 8 over.
How many players are in this?
Well, typically what they do, they have the golf course under control right now. I said, they can add moisture to the greens, whatever. I think what they'll do, the first couple days, you might see guys 4, 6 under, and then
the weekend they're just
they might take water off the golf course, and it's going to start.
Dry up.
Greens are going to turn yellow, and then the scores sometimes back up, or usually do. I think the cut line will probably be 4 or 5 over.
I was going to go 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I'll take 4. I like 4
Yeah,
over.
I think that's probably a good spot. If it, like you said, if it starts easier and then progressively gets harder.
Because how many people are in the championship? Is it like 160?
I don't know. I would guess 144.
144.
Probably.
It's probably a good even number.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
4
then
or
they
5
take
over.
like 70 in ties with 144 at about 4 over. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
That's a good question though. That'll be fun to watch. I honestly think I wish they would do more of like cut watching
Mm-hmm.
on telecast, like
If they had a
Friday.
broadcast.
Yeah,
with
like
just cut
just
watch.
the guys that are absolutely grind. Like, hey, I got to finish par. I got to finish par birdie. I got it like to make the cut.
Yeah.
That's good. Like when we're talking like tournaments that just beat you up, that kick you down. How about a cut watch?
Yeah.
The
And
first
they
2
could,
days.
They could cut to like breaking so and so just doubled. Now
Yeah.
he's on like
Now he's on the line.
JT at the Masters the last
Oh my
3
gosh.
holes. That would have been.
Imagine.
I mean, not
What
for him, but it would have
sweat.
been
Yeah.
prime television watching. You're like double.
Yeah, he went double, bogey, double to miss by 1
Yeah.
and moved the cut line every time he
For
made
everyone.
it. Yeah,
I mean that's a big deal because then it's like you can watch the every time he finishes that last
Well,
putt,
I've-
it changes on the top of the screen. Cut line's now +5.
Yes.
yeah.
So I have
You
2
know.
stories. So I'm watching Lucas playing in the Minnesota PGA Foundation Pro-Am. It's the old Tape Mark, long-standing Pro-Am, Southview Country Club. I used to work there. You were like tied for 7th at 3 under par with, I don't know, 3, 4 holes to play in
4
your
holes
second
to
round.
play.
In round 2. And it's a 3
5
round.
holes to play. Yep.
And you somehow bogey your last 3
Yep.
holes.
I missed a 4-footer on 14 for birdie, and then missed. I went bogey. Finished even par for
On
the
2
tournament.
par 5s. It ends
Yeah,
on
I hit
2
it
par
into
5s.
I hit it into the fescue. Yeah, no, my
And
drives are terrible.
so he goes from tied for 7th to all of a sudden he works down the leaderboard and you realize there's a cut in this event.
There's a cut. Oh yeah,
It was like now you're sweating out, you're
cut.
like you're in the mix of winning the tournament, and then all of a sudden
Yep.
you were like,
I was feeling great.
he might not
Make the cut.
make the cut.
And did
Yeah.
you know
That's
there was
how-
a cut line?
Oh yeah,
Did you
I
know
was
where it
well
was?
aware of cut line, and then of course, like when you check in for the day, they've got the payout sheet, so it's like winner's going to take home $5,000, and then you're looking, ooh, they're only paying out 17 spots. Okay, so then it's like, okay, I knew exactly what was happening in the last 3 holes, and the bogey I made on 16 was frustrating, but I was at the front edge of the green. The bogey I made on 17, I was just out of position the entire hole, and then 18, I got it back to where I wanted to, and then I missed a short one, and I was just like, of course, that's where I put myself. And the worst part about it is I had to go back to where I was staying. I was staying with all the family, and we were having a big birthday celebration, retirement celebration, and just trying to not keep my mind on if I was going to make the cut or not, and ended up making the cut, and it was a great time, but it was one heck of a sweat.
Yeah.
Well,
That didn't need to be a sweat.
I mean, and that's how fickle golf is, right? So say you
3
birdie,
holes.
make that birdie on 15?
14.
14?
Yeah.
Okay, and then just make par on 16, 2 putt
Yep.
from the front edge. And then 17 and 18 are birdie holes.
It should be. I played them
Yeah.
like 4 over par this weekend.
Yeah.
So
So if you birdie those 2 and blah, 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 that's a 4-shot swing. Now you're 7 under par and literally in the top 3.
yeah, I mean, it was
So
like
you played.
can-
I mean, you were there.
yeah,
You
I mean,
just-
you can like the first day I shot 2 under and I made 6 birdies. I shot 2 under and I made 6 birdies. And like I made some silly bogeys. And so like even that first day I could have been 4 under really easily. And then I mean golf's a game of what ifs at that point. But coming straight off of coaching for high school, I was fine with where I was disappointed competitive wise.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to play better than that, but you know what? Made the cut, made a little money. It was a grind the last day, so to get through that, it was good. It was nice to be playing. It was nice to actually like have something on a tournament now.
For sure.
Back at it.
Okay, another tournament that I watched on Sunday. I was following you online, and then I had the Golf Channel on.
Mhm.
The DP World Tour.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about this?
I think Lucas and I were talking about it.
I was watching it live.
Yeah.
It's one of the saddest things I've ever seen in my life.
The guy who had an 8-stroke lead
He was leading by 8.
going into Sunday.
Going into the day, he had 18 holes left. He had an 8-shot lead.
And he's like number 2 or 3 on the European Tour
That's right. That's
money
what you
list.
said. Yeah.
Order of merit.
Yep.
And he's got like 6 or 7 runner-up finishes. So now he's going to finally get his win this year. And his name is Sebastian Soderberg.
Yep.
Good-looking chap.
Mhm.
Good golf swing. He ends up losing by 1, and it was a mixed team. It was a mixed event, individual event, but it was mixed genders. So Lynn, what's her name? Lynn Grant. She played at ASU. She's also from Sweden. She shoots 65, and it was blowing. She got done before the rain, but the rain wasn't the reason why he lost the tournament.
Struggled. Yeah.
He had made 1 bogey in 54 holes. And by the time he had made the turn, this is how dumb of a game we have. He had made 5 bogeys in 15 holes, and he had made 1 in 3 days.
Oh man.
Brutal.
So now, if he pars out, he wins the tournament outright. Okay, so he pars 16, nice par 4. Par 3, he hit a good shot in there and almost made the putt, but he was really tentative on his putts, so he missed that. So 18, just needs a par and he wins. He drove it right in the middle of the fairway. The wind's left to right, pins cut right, and it had rained a while, so stuff was soft. And he flared his approach shot, and it plugs in a bunker. I mean, below fried egg in a wet bunker. Short-sighted himself. It was like, what are you? It's golf.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you can miss it anywhere but there.
You can miss it anywhere but there. So now you're going to chunk it out of there, and he had 25 feet. And it's like, okay, well, 2-putt, and you're in a
and
playoff.
Playoff.
Yeah.
And he hit it down. He was short, about 2.5, inside 3 feet. And he's grinding over this inside 3 foot, and it horseshoes.
All the way around.
And they replayed it. You watch the crowd in the background, their reactions to that miss.
No.
It was like, I don't know.
Everybody knew what the situation was.
Oh, yes. He was the last player in the
group.
field. 8-shot lead. She came back from 11 strokes behind to win. She
has
finished
to be
like
a
an hour and a half ahead of him.
Oh my
was-
gosh.
Lucas and I were briefly talking about it because I saw a parlay put together. Some random guy. He put like a 5-leg parlay down for this weekend of just random sports. And his last leg was that guy to outright win with an 8-stroke lead.
And he would have won his parlay.
Yeah, he had everything else. It was like he put it down. It was like $500 to win like 50 grand or 20,
How's
20
that
grand.
for a bad beat? Holy
and
cow.
8-stroke lead on a Saturday or Sunday morning. Gone.
Yeah.
Everything else
so tough.
It was like he had like a soccer or tennis because we had so many tournaments and stuff
And
going on this
the
week. but
kicker was he was 1 under through 3.
No. He shoots 77, right?
He shot 77.
Oh, man.
that's insane.
That's the dumb
Okay,
game.
but props to her. I mean, 11-stroke comeback.
Yeah, you got to play well. Shoot 65,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, she was. It's
Yeah.
not like he lost. I mean, he did lose it, but
He
she
lost
also.
it. But she played
won
great.
that tournament.
Exactly,
She- yeah.
Nick. Yeah. And she chipped in on 18.
Wow.
From between the bunker and the green where he was at.
That's
She
cool.
chipped in.
That's cool. Yeah, and then you talk about like the other side, like good golf stories, and I can't believe it took me this long to mention it, but Adam Scott's major streak, he's made 92 straight majors. He's played in every major for the last 23 years. I was 2 years old the last time.
Adam
he did-
Scott?
Adam Scott.
That's a crazy streak.
I was 2 years old the last time he didn't play in a major.
That's
Has
fantastic.
he won one?
Yeah, he won. He's a Masters
I
champion.
thought he won the Masters. Yeah.
Is that his only one?
British Open, maybe? I don't
Maybe
know.
an
That's
Open?
a great question, Nick.
I know he won the Masters because he won it in the rain with a belly putter, and it was a great picture.
Yeah.
So, and it was like he shouldn't have even been in this one, right? This was
No,
his streak
like,
was supposed to be done.
Yeah, so his world ranking wasn't good to get exempted, so he had to go through the qualifying process, made it through the locals, but got it to the regionals, and then he was in the final stage, and he got into a playoff. He was in a playoff with another good golfer, another pro, and he chipped in and to continue the playoff or to get the playoff. And the guy kept making birdies on top of him and ended up beating him out. So he was like first alternate. And then the alternate process for the U.S. Open, it goes based off world ranking points for everybody. And then like proximity to the championship and strength of field in those three. And so those got him in. He's like 61st in the world.
So just a bunch of technicalities.
Basically. Sergio Garcia also got in,
Yeah.
which is his like 25th straight U.S. Open or something like that. So
Crazy.
a couple cool streaks that
Yeah.
I'm sure the guys at the U.S. Open were like trying to find a way to get him in. So they're just begging somebody to withdraw from the U.S. Open to get those guys in.
Under the table, just paid someone.
Yeah, they might have.
Like,
You
come
gotta
on,
keep
just
the
take a
streak.
year.
Gotta keep the streak.
And Tiger's in the field. He got a special exemption, right?
Special past champions exemption, I think.
They did that for Jack back in the day, too.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
I could
just
see that.
For
I'm
golf
fine with that.
itself.
I'm
For the name
fine
of golf,
with it.
you have
Yeah.
to have him in the field.
Plus, he won at Pinehurst, didn't he? Tiger?
Oh, I don't know. No,
No? Okay, never
I
mind.
thought,
Well, this is his year.
2014?
no, that was
That was the last time I
Keimer?
was there. Martin Keimer?
Keimer,
Yeah.
I think. He used his putter
He
everywhere.
used his putter a
I
lot.
watched that
yeah.
piece. Where did he go?
He loved
Is
his
it-
3-wood too. I don't know where Martin Keimer went.
Hmm.
Martin Keimer.
Huh.
Interesting.
Live? Is he a live guy? I bet he is.
Henrik Stenson went over there.
Mm-hmm.
So are they the same?
Maybe
Maybe
the same person.
Maybe.
Have you
Are
ever
they the
seen
same?
those two paired together?
No, I haven't. That's a good point. Nope, I haven't seen that.
What else?
Okay.
Jumping around a little bit. Andrew Izzo ended up winning the
He won the
tape mark
tournament,
or
yep. Yeah, he played
the
well.
section pro.
He shot 3 under the last day, and it was blowing 30 miles an hour.
31
gusting.
is final 9.
Yep.
5 under.
He turned it around. He played really, really solid. We played it. It was a short course, so it was very gettable. But with the wind and the way those greens sit, they're crazy greens. So
Let's see what else.
it was
was
good.
going. Your
we
team was at State?
Yeah,
state golf. Yeah. So I went this last week. I went from coaching state golf right into playing golf, and it was a great year. It was a great experience. It was a great team. It was a real sweat to get to state, but we snuck in on the number, won the scorecard playoff to get to state, and it was a great experience. They're doing a really nice job now with North Dakota High School Athletics Association, and they partnered with Mizuno. So, kids are getting a sleeve of golf balls. They're getting a hat. And doing a lot of really good stuff. And the course was in fantastic condition up in Grand Forks. Red River ended up winning state. They won by 10 over Bismarck Century. Carson Hannested won North Dakota State. He played phenomenal. We had horrible weather.
Bogey free the first day.
Yeah, and
68,
it was
right?
unbelievable. Yeah, it was downpour, rain, and wind, and he shoots bogey free 68 at Kings Walk.
Wow.
And it was like
What year is he?
he is a junior, senior. Shoot, I should know that.
Does he have college plans yet?
Not that I'm aware of, but
Wow.
Props to him.
that was he'd always kind of been right up at the top of the leaderboard, and then he ran away with it. I think he
off.
won by 6.
Wow.
Over a kid from Minot North, which now Minot has 2 schools. So, and Red River had a couple guys up there. So a lot of good golf that was being played in just junk weather. I mean, if it wasn't raining, it was blowing 40 miles an hour. So it's just tough weather.
And I should
So
know this. Did Class B, did Oak Grove win Class B?
Oak Grove did win
yeah,
Class
yeah,
B.
yeah. I thought I saw that.
Yep.
Good
So-
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a nice
Coach
little
Dan.
thing going over there. Yeah. And they talked I mean, they had bad weather too. He called me their first day because we were supposed to play in the same day, and their first day got postponed. They just didn't play.
I thought I saw a picture of players coming off the course. They were like dirt because all the gravel
Everything.
or dirt was
The
blowing,
wind and everything.
and they were.
Ugh.
If you put on sunscreen or
Yeah.
whatever, and then all of a
It's just
sudden
gonna
now
stick to
it's just
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it was
dirt.
tough sledding for those
Yep.
guys. Yeah.
And Minnesota State, I think, might be going on now.
Going on today. I know. I think Matt Grammer was the only individual qualifier for the boys.
for the Spuds.
And then the girls also had one, and her name escapes me right now.
And DL girls, I know, are at state. I assume the boys are too.
Yeah, that I don't know. That I don't know.
We should know that.
Yep. But yeah, so it's wrapping up there, and then you got regular tournament season now.
Nick, have you won a scramble lately at all? Have we talked about your?
No, we didn't talk about it, but I did win a
That's right.
scramble the other day.
Yeah, you're
Out of
bringing
Mapleton.
home a hardware.
For Sweet Shots team.
And that was
we've got kind of a target on our back. Sweet Shots as a golf in the scramble community
world. Yeah.
of golf. We are pretty notorious for coming in the first place lately.
and that was River Valley Fair Foundation scramble, right?
Yep. Me and Zach, my brother, and then a couple other Sweet Shots guys. Really, I didn't have any expectation to go out there and win it, but we played really well. I just remember Zach and I had to bring the carts back, walk in, and the other two guys are sitting at the table, and we're like, we're in first place with only 10 teams left to come in. We're like, how? But
were there like shenanigans as far as like, okay, here's your rope if it's inside?
So you could buy
like
mulligans. So
classic.
it seemed everyone was buying their mulligans. You could get two per person, and then the only thing for strokes they had on one hole, they had a beanbag toss where you could buy $20 gets you 3 beanbags, and then if you make any of the beanbags, you lose a stroke on that hole that you're going to play. So myself and then Nick Hovey, one of our teammates, your cousin, other Nick, cousin on the other side. I threw my 3, 2 of them right on the lip, and then she's like, "Oh, you can just leave those on," and then so Hovey threw and knocked both mine in, so we got 2 strokes off that hole. So that helped us. We made a birdie on a par 5, which was actually a 2 or whatever it ended up being.
Wow.
So
Okay.
we ended up shooting 59 with those 2 strokes, and then the second place was 60. So we won by 1 stroke, and it was golf addiction, I think. So it was like,
Nice.
and they were the group in front of us. We were going back and forth all day about just the 2 golf
golf communities.
Fun.
Yeah.
golf
yeah.
buildings.
Way to
So
represent.
that's good.
it
Nice
was a lot
job.
of fun. Great
That's
day
good.
for it. Beautiful. We won a bunch of gear, and Zach won a hole or a close to the pin challenge, and Hovey
Oh,
won.
nice.
He actually won the long drive, which was great.
Did he?
Yeah.
Connect
Zach
on
and
one.
I
Nice.
the hole before we're like, you're coming so outside in, just get a little back. Just pumps one.
Long drive champ.
It's just crazy.
I did not know that. That's
Yeah.
good for him, man.
So it
That's
was a lot of fun.
Cool. You guys got some DraftKings teams you want to rattle off here before we
Yeah.
finish up?
I'll tell you mine real quick.
Just before you get going, though, I didn't get one queued up, but my big thing with this tournament, I know on Underdog, they're going to have a ton of props going. My green flag would be green in regulation, and if they're not ball strikers. I just think guys are going to miss a
the under.
ton of green. Yeah, hit the under on
Yeah.
the greens in regulation. I'd say just in general. Unless it's something crazy like 6 greens in regulation or something like that. But generally, I think that under in greens in regulation is going to be a good bet.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Okay. Yeah, you're exactly right. And I haven't watched the forecast at all, but if it blows at all, they won't hit any greens. And if there's no rain.
Doesn't look like any rain. That I know.
Okay, so I built a team around Scheffler. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, wow.
And then I went short game, like I said, Spieth and Cam Smith. They're wizards
Nice.
around the greens. Okay, and then after those 3 guys, I just really tried to find some
Well, I was
folks
gonna-
that worked.
Those are big hitters for prices, right? You got 13,000. What's Jordan?
8,700 is Cam Smith and 7,900 is Jordan Spieth.
Mm.
And then Brian Harmon, I thought was a good value. He's the British Open champ. He does have that same short game skill set. 6,900, kind of a value pick. 14
Sure.
to 16.
Yep.
And then I went with the guy that played well last week at the Memorial, Adam Hadwin.
He did play well.
Yeah, he
he
did.
kind of
Played
snuck
really
up there.
well.
Yeah.
Yep. And he was 6,200. So, with those value picks, try and find somebody that's playing well. And then I might change out this guy, but I Corey Connors. He's 15 of 15 on cuts made. He's just a machine.
I've got him
grinder.
too.
Do you?
Yeah.
And he's 7,200, a pretty
got-
good
kind
value.
of
You got a
value.
Canadian team there. Canadian squad.
Hadwin's
Yeah,
Canadian
Hadwin,
too?
Yeah,
Yep.
and Connors.
Oh, foreign invasion. Okay.
From the north.
Well, that's my squad.
like
And that's
it. I
my
like it.
but Connors might go bye-bye if I can find somebody 7,200 or better.
Yeah.
After I hear next team.
No, I did something super similar to you. I went Scotty, as you have to. And I actually went a little higher too. I went Colin Morikawa. I've got the rematch of
yeah,
those two are going to
yeah.
go back and forth again.
Well, plus he played well at PGA too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good call, Colin.
And then I went Corey Connors, like I said. I went with a little flyer here, Jason Day.
I like it.
He's kind of a grinder, and he's been playing pretty well lately.
Mhm.
I like.
I'm high
like
on
him where
Jason
he's
Day. I've liked him.
at. And then
2
I got JT Poston.
The other JT. Yep.
Just as a ball striker, and then Tom Hoagie, another ball striker. I know he didn't play great last week, but I think he's going to come back, and
He's making cuts.
he is. He's 16 for 17 on cuts. I mean, if he can strike the ball and roll the rock a little better.
He's fresh though, because the Memorial was like his first one back in a minute, wasn't
I
it?
think so.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So get out to Pinehurst, practice. He's a ball striker.
I need him to make the cut. He's not. I don't need him to win it.
Just make the cut.
Just make the cut.
He's just so aggressive into the whole locations that I don't know that you can do that here. But
With their putting. I mean, his putting's got to be on. I haven't seen much. Yeah, ball striker. Get him to hit some greens. That's
Yep.
all he needs.
If he can hold a
All he
green.
needs. Yep.
So
Oh, look at this. He's hitting X right as we're talking.
I'm just looking. What was
He's
Hoagie?
inaudible.
What was Hoagie?
72, 74,
Hmm.
70 something. In the
He's
70s?
thinking about it. He's thinking about it.
No, 65. He was cheap.
No.
Just kidding. He was cheap. That's
was
what
cheap.
that's what allowed me to get Morikawa, because Morikawa's 94.
Then I don't hate that play, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's
At
my
that,
cheapest
at
guy.
that value,
Him and Postner are both 74.
How about a guy like Robert McIntyre that won for the
I
first
didn't
time?
see
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
he went home. He hasn't played much. He went back across the pond.
But I just think these Euros that play on this type of golf around the greens,
Yeah,
I
they've
just
got
think
the
there's
skill for
there's
it.
an advantage to those guys. That
Yeah.
they
I don't hate that. He's been playing well this year.
Yeah.
That'd be your.
I don't know if
that'd be
they
your
even
Corey
have
Connors
They don't
sub.
even have a picture in there for him, do they?
Yeah, they've got a picture
Oh,
for him now.
Hmm.
Yep.
maybe it just updated a minute
Yeah.
ago. I feel like when I looked earlier, it was like a
flag.
weird.
How about this
like-
Burmeister at 6,800? His fantasy points per game 78.5. He's just destroys everybody in that same value. You know, he's
What are his-
11 cuts, 5 top 10s.
Where is he- what's he
if
playing on?
Yeah, if he's playing live, he's
Yeah,
not
he
going
might-
to
Oh,
miss
is he a
cut.
live guy?
Well, like live or different. He could be a Euro tour.
Oh, he's a live guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
It's pretty easy to make.
11 cuts.
No wonder why he's making so many cuts.
Making a lot of birdies too, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so you're a flyer. Corey Connors might make the team. Who knows?
Yeah, there's
He's-
Hoagie
he's on
6,500.
mine.
Yeah.
He's staying on mine.
Stan. All right. Well, this will be a fun weekend. Looks like there's a lot of TV coverage too. Starts on USA and then goes NBC.
Mhm.
So like wall to wall. It starts at like 6:30 on Thursday. So
Yeah.
it'll be
Oh, and-
be good. Good to watch.
Before we go, Chuck and I be in Vegas.
Oh yeah,
during
you
it.
got some
We
big.
leave this Friday, so be doing some live betting on it.
You're doing.
I'll let you
You're
know.
thinking some outrights.
I think I'm gonna do an outlight right when I get there Friday. We'll see
If
how
they-
Thursday turns out. But
Let me know if they do like some top 10 stuff. I feel like that's what I'd be good at. Like
Yeah.
sitting
Mm.
Saturday night and they go, hey, Hideki Matsuyama to finish inside top 10 and he
Mhm.
just shot 3 under, we'll call it, whatever.
Right.
Like, yeah, he can finish inside. That's the kind of stuff I think I could be.
We should have run
Okay.
down to Dakota Magic and did the show from there.
I know, we keep talking about that too. And I keep seeing their commercials and I really want to get back there and
you keep seeing
play
me.
around and go. Yeah, I do. Yeah, you're just walking in
On
there.
their commercials.
Looks like you're having a blast.
I
So-
haven't been there in a while.
All right. I think that's going to do it.
Yeah.
Any final words?
Come on out and play the Pinehurst on the virtual golf.
Yep, we've got some challenges rolling. It'll be all week here. So we've got the 18-hole challenge. We got closest to the pin going on. Get yourself. I got leaderboards. They're rotating through the deal. So through the building. So get your name on the leaderboards. Challenge your friends. That's what it's all about right here. Watch some U.S. Open and have some great food. So
Big week for music on the terrace as well.
That's correct.
we got
Mike and the Mexicans.
Yeah.
A little
Oh,
later
that's right.
Thursday night.
Is it
It's
a
a little
later
later.
start?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
They'll play probably till about 11. They are fantastic.
They're
They're
really
fun.
good.
Happy Father's Day to dads out there. That's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, Sunday.
Yep.
So a lot
Yep.
going on. It's
Thanks for
summer.
all you do.
Lucas
It's summer.
just remembered right now. That was your reminder. That
Yep.
it's Father's Day.
It's Father's Day.
Yeah. You'll be with your
I
dad
was-
in Vegas.
Yeah,
So
I told him I'd get him his first beer.
Got to put $20
Put
in the
$20 in the
machine.
machine, and then whatever I order is yours.
That's good. All right, that's going to do it for us here on this round. Join us next time for another round at Sweet Shots. We'll see you then.